He'll take it to the bag himself for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down to the batter, Ronaldo Ponce. To finish the Dogs' defense, you have Albanus Machado at short, Shea McFeely at second, Phil Hawks, as we just mentioned, at first, and then Sean McGill is behind the plate in support of Jared Gardner, looking for his league-leading 10th win of the year. Right-handed batter, Ponce steps in. Gardner kicks and delivers. Ground ball slowly out to second. McFeely waits on it, up with it, throws to first. Boy, Ponce wasn't hustling at all, and he's retired for out number 2. Shea was about to charge that ball, then he realized that Ponce was jogging. Ponce came in hitting .274, 3 home runs, 46 driven in. If he's not going to hustle like that, he might find himself on the bench. Jorge Alvarez will bat the designated hitter. He is on many of the league leaderboards, hitting .334, 8 home runs, and 60 driven in. And I'll dig up those leaderboard stats here and tell you how many times his name appears. Right-handed batter stands in, 5'11", 200 pounds. First pitch to him is on the outside corner for strike 1. Gardner from the windup. The kick and the 0-1. Up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Alvarez is second in the league in hits with an even 100, trailing only Wichita's Greg Porter, who has 103. Alvarez also fourth in the league in runs scored with 55. And he's 7th in the league in hitting. That pitch a little off the outside corner, and Gardner falls behind 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Gardner's pitch lined. 1 hop out to Machado, backs up on it. Fields throws to first in time, and the side is retired. 1-2-3, go the Diablos in the bottom of the first inning. We'll head for the second. No score, Lincoln and El Paso on 1240 a.m. KFOR.
National Guard, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here in the KFOR studios, working hard. The Cubs do lead it, though, 4-0 over Cincinnati.
Thank you, Spencer Schubert. We're in the top of the second inning here at Cohen Stadium in El Paso. Salt Dogs and the Diablos. No score. 4, 5, and 6 for Lincoln in the second inning. Steve Alexander, Rafael Alvarez, and Sean McGill. Alexander hitting .242, 10 home runs, and 41 driven in. As the right-hander Josh Neitz goes into the windup and the first pitch. Driven into left field and over to jump up and make the catch is Bobby Andrews for out number 1. He was drifting casually with that ball. It was a line shot off the bat of Alexander. Andrews almost played it too casually, had to do a little leap at the end of the run to make the catch, 1 away. Tough luck for Stevie. Hits that ball hard, another few feet over towards the gap, and he's standing on second base. Here's Rafael Alvarez. Comes in batting .385 in 4 games for Lincoln with a solo home run. That's his only RBI. Left-handed batting right fielder. We picked him up after Pensacola let him go late last month. First pitch on the inside corner, strike 1. Alvarez in his 16th professional season. The next offering from Neitz comes way inside, and it hit him in the knee. And Alvarez is down holding his right knee. And this is not what we need to see right now. We mentioned in the pregame show that we're down a position player. Peachy Villette is not with the team for this series. Alvarez getting to his feet as the trainer, Clint Kirkland, comes running out to check on him. And I hope, not only for Rafael's sake, but for the sake of the team, that Alvarez can continue. We were carrying 4 outfielders. We had a reserve outfielder until Peachy wasn't able to play this series. And again, the reason given was that he has a business-related emergency to take care of back home. Alvarez is on his feet Clint Kirkland, the trainer, a pat on the back, and Alvarez is going to walk to first. He's still limping a little bit, but hopefully he's okay. Walking down the first base line slowly with Matt Nopes. So one out base runner painfully for Lincoln as Neitz hits Alvarez in the knee. And the batter will be Sean McGill. McGill hitting .266, 3 home runs and 33 driven in. Big Mac will step in, glance down at Marty Scott in the third base coaching area to see if there were any signs, and now is in the box. First pitch from Neitz, strike on the inside corner, 0-1. McGill's bat has been heating up as of late, .333 over the last 10 games, and even .500 over his last 5 contests. The next pitch in the dirt, knocked down by the catcher Rodriguez, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. And McGill now calls time to tie his shoe. Don't want to try to swing the bat or run with the shoe untied. Be kind of interesting if you went down in the dirt because of that. 1 on, 1 out, 1-1 to McGill. Top of the second inning, no score. The pitch, breaking ball, slow breaking ball, dropped in at the knees for strike 2. The broadcast perspective here at Cohen Stadium different from any other place in the American Association because we are a lot farther back. We're behind all of the seating behind home plate. We're not up very high, but well removed from the plate as McGill takes the pitch a little low and in, 2-2. Borderline pitch there, and Neitz did not get the call from Ron Teague. Two balls, 2 strikes. Alvarez at first after being hit by a pitch, and the throw-over will chase him back. Raphael being careful over there. He was picked off yesterday. Now the 2-2 pitch. Little chopper out in front of the mound. In to get it is Neitz, who's only played a first, and he will make that play to retire McGill for the second out. Alvarez does move to second on the slow chopper, and he's in scoring position with 2 outs for Gavin Dickey. Dickey likely will start in left field all 3 games of this series, filling in for Peachy Billette. Gavin, 1 for 13 in the Lincoln uniform over 6 games with an RBI. He played in both games of the doubleheader yesterday. Game 1, he went 0 for 1, but he drew a pair of walks, so he's showing patience at the plate. Second game, he was hit by a pitch, was called out on batter's interference, and then reached on an error and scored a run. So officially 0 for 2 in that game, but kind of an odd 0 for 2. Outfield straight away for the former Florida Gator Gavin Dickey. The first pitch from Neitz, breaking ball, low and away, caught the corner. Strike 1. This perspective that I talked about, being farther back but down a little lower, it does give someone that's sitting at this level a better look at the path a breaking ball takes on its way to the plate. That was a slider from Neitz, and now time called as the catcher Rodriguez goes out to talk to Neitz about the next pitch. Conference is over. Just a brief conversation. Now the 0-1 to Dickey. Breaking ball at the knees, strike 2. Gavin trying to be patient, but he's in an 0-2 hole. Alvarez at second, 2 out, no score, and the 0-2 pitch. Up and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, here in El Paso, they like to play the music between every pitch, even when the visiting team is batting. 1-2 to Gavin Dickey. The kick and the pitch from Neitz. Breaking ball looped into right field towards the line. That ball is down fair and rolling to the corner. Alvarez on his way home. He'll score easily. Dickey wheeling around second. He's thinking about 3. The throw will come into the middle infield, and it's an RBI triple for Gavin Dickey. The Salt Dogs lead 1-0. What a great piece of opposite field hitting by Gavin Dickey. He looped a low and away slider down the right field line into the corner. And again, this is a spacious outfield. It is a long run for the right fielder to get into that corner, and Dickey was able to wheel all the way to third base for his first triple of the year. Alvarez scores, and the Salt Dogs have the early lead. So now Gavin at third for Shea McFeely. Shea comes in batting .293. 3 home runs and 29 driven in, and he chops it foul to the right side into the Salt Dogs dugout, 0-1. I think I gave the wrong stats on Gavin Dickey a moment ago. I had him at 1 for 13. That was just against right-handed batters. He came in 2 for 14 overall with an RBI. Well, now he's 3 for 15 with 2 RBI. The 0-1 to McFeely. Downstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Framed there by Rodriguez, but he couldn't pick up the call. Now the 1-1. McFeely, a little chopper out to short, charging in his Ponce, gloves it, throws on the run, got him. And the side is retired, but the Salt Dogs get a run on a hit. The RBI triple by Gavin Dickey. 1 man left. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 Salt Dogs on 1240 AM KFOR. Healthy .291, 8 home runs, 52 driven in. Camacho last year was in Sioux City. Helped them get to the playoffs. And Gardner into his windup. First pitch to Camacho. Fastball right down Broadway, strike 1. Gardner only needed 7 pitches to get through the first inning. 3 ground ball outs. The windup and the 0-1. Cued foul off the handle over the El Paso dugout on the third base side, and the count is 0-2. Camacho kind of a funky check swing. That slider bore in on his hands, and he kicked it foul. Gardner peers over the glove, gets the sign. The 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1-2. Now the 1-2 pitch on its way, swinging a chopper foul right side down towards the tarp. And a nice play by Salt Dogs bullpen coach Jake Ayers, leaning over the fence of the bullpen down there to snag that hopping foul ball. He flips it to a fan above the bullpen there down the first base line. Count stays at 1-2. Gardner winds, and again the 1-2 to Camacho. Inside corner, called strike 3, and I think Camacho knew it. And he shakes his head a little bit, but he is down on strikes for out number 1. First strikeout for Jared Gardner. Jeff Vincent, the right fielder, will bat next. Don't believe he played for El Paso when they were in Lincoln in June. Vincent appearing in his 26th game for El Paso. He's hitting .327 with a home run and 15 driven in. Left-handed batter. 6'4", 205 pounds. First pitch from Gardner, low and in, 1-0. Gardner's next pitch is fouled back to the backstop, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Both teams, the majority of the players on the top step of the dugout. There's a good reason for that. We'll tell you about that in a moment. 1-1, little low and in, 2-1 to Vincent. Gardner working quickly. The 2-1 pitch hit high in the air, foul off to the left, well out of play. That'll land on the awning that covers the concourse down the third baseline behind the seats. That protects people from the sun on that side. And the count is even at 2-2. 1 out, nobody on. 1-0 Lincoln. Bottom of the second inning. Gardner's 2-2 pitch popped up on the infield. That got in on his hands. Coming in is Machado. And just onto the infield grass, he makes the catch for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. And the next hitter is Eddie Rodriguez, the Diablos catcher. Rodriguez batting .251. 4 home runs. He's driven in 29.
Up next for the Diablos, the catcher, number 16, Eddie
Rodriguez, 6 foot tall, 205 pounds, out of Miami, Florida. Right-handed batter digs in. Incidentally, their backup catcher is also their first baseman, Verostegui. As the first pitch from Gardner is rolled out to short, Machado has this. Up with it, the throw to first is in time, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Jared Gardner here in El Paso. We go to the top of the third inning, 1-0 Lincoln on 1240 AM KFOR. And as a Salt Dog, 265, 5 home runs in 25. He hit a 3-run homer in Game 2 of the doubleheader yesterday and ended that game with 4 RBI. Slightly open stance in the right-handed batter's box. The first pitch from Josh Neitz is on the outside corner at the knees, strike 1. Neitz is throwing a lot of first-pitch sliders on that outside corner. Salt Dogs found success in the second inning when Gavin Dickey hit that slider the other way for an RBI triple. That pitch is low and away, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Third baseman Camacho even with the bag. Brandon Jones not really known for bunting. Now Camacho backs up. And the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss and an outside slider, 1-2. And when Brandon struggles, he tries to pull that slider, and he pulls off the pitch and misses it entirely. One and two, the windup and the pitch. High chopper left side. Camacho fields it. That's in fair territory behind the bag. The throw across pulls the first baseman Verostegui off the bag, and Jones is safe. Verostegui leaning to the inside, fell onto that chalk line, tried to keep his right foot on the bag, but his feet slipped. He fell in the dirt catching the throw. And Jones is safe at first. They're going to rule that an infield hit for Brandon Jones. And he'll be on for Josh Burris. Burris singled his first time up, was retired on a force play at second base. The first pitch, bunted back towards the mound. Neitz is up with it. The throw goes to second. That's in time. No relay. I think Burris was bunting for a hit, but he bunted it hard right back towards the mound, and Neitz retires Jones 1-6 for the first out. Burris safe on the fielder's choice, and there's one out for Machado.
Shortstop number 3, Alcides Machado.
Machado grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up, and then was caught stealing. So Tudor batting left-handed in the pitch. Low and in, ball one. One ball, no strikes. Burris will lead at first. 28 steals in 35 tries. Throw to first, and Burris back in standing up. Verostegui has a big white chalk stripe down the back of his jersey now after falling right on the baseline, trying to catch that throw from Camacho a couple of plays ago. Long pause by Neitz in the 1-0 pitch. Up high, 2-0. We talked about the factors limiting home run potential in this park, the spaciousness of the walls, 410 to dead center, 340 down the line, steep power alleys, the 20-foot high wall all the way around as well, and the wind blowing in. One factor in favor of hitting a ball out of here is that we are in thinner air. We're at a higher elevation. We're very close to the mountains. Burris dives back to first on a pickoff attempt by Neitz. So if the air is still or the wind is blowing out at all, with this thinner air up here, the ball will travel. That's the one thing in favor, and that's one of the reasons the walls are set back a little farther. There's the pitch to Machado, hit high in the air to left center field. Coming over, right center field, and the center fielder Bibbs will make the catch in the alley for the second out. The throw comes all the way back into first, and Burris just beat it back. I don't think Josh knew that throw was coming to first, and he just got back ahead of the throw from Bibbs, who made a very good throw from right center field. 2 away for Phil Hawk, who flew out to center his first time up. We did hit a couple of home runs when we were here last year. As Hawk steps in. Remember, Kurt Miasso hit a home run last year in Game 1 of the series, which we lost back in July of 08. There goes Burris. It's a pitch out. Throw down to second is high, but Josh is still going to be out easily. And he's a little frustrated as El Paso guesses right on the pitch out. Burris caught stealing, and the side is retired. No runs, a hit, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 Salt Dogs on 1240 AM KFOR.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to Lincoln Salt Dogs Baseball on 1240 AM KFOR. Lincoln.
Bottom of the third inning, Lincoln 1, El Paso nothing on 1240 AM KFOR. 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Diablos here in the bottom of the third. Hector Bernal will lead it off against Jarrett Gardner. Left-handed batting, second baseman. First pitch from Jarrett is on the inside corner at the knees, strike one. Bernal hitting .245, a home run, and 30 driven in. And third baseman Brandon Jones in on the edge of the grass in case Bernal lays down a bunt. The 0-1 pitch, chopped foul right side, and the count is 0-2. El Paso manager Butch Henry, that looks like Butch Henry coaching third. I can't see his number. The first base coach right now is one of their pitchers, Yuri Santana. Oh, and 2 to Bernal. The pitch. Down and in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Scoreboard malfunction a little bit here. The 3 hits for Lincoln have disappeared from the board, and the ball and strike count is not working, nor is the number of the player at bat. But the Dogs do have their run. That's what matters. Now the pitch. Hit high in the air to right field. Right at Rafael Alvarez. Comes in a step or two, makes the catch. And that is out number 1. The next batter is Gerardo Verostegui, or Jerry, depending on which roster you look at. 5'11", 215-pound. He's playing first base tonight. He's listed as a catcher on their roster. So I suppose if we saw an injury to Eddie Rodriguez, Verostegui would catch. I think he caught 2 of the 3 games back in June, or at least one of them. First pitch to him is on the outside corner, strike 1. He's a left-handed batter, hitting .282 with 17 RBI. Gardner fires the 0-1 in. It's low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Verostegui was the catcher, the starting catcher for the final 2 games of that series in Lincoln earlier this year. There's another pitch on the inside corner. That's a strike, and it's 1-2. Gardner right now able to spot his pitches pretty well. 1-2, 1 out, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's 1-0 Lincoln. The 1-2 pitch. Little chopper over the mound. Charging in is Machado, and he cannot get it. It gets by him into center field. Big turn by Verostegui. He's heading to second. The throw comes to second. Gardner covers the tag, and he's out. So Verostegui gets greedy. McFeely recovered that ball in shallow center after Machado missed the chopper, and Gardner covered the bag to record the out. So 4-1 on the putout. We should note that is the first hit the Diablos have gotten against Jarrett Gardner this year. Gardner threw the no-hitter against El Paso on June 25th, and he'd set down the first 7 Diablos tonight. Verostegui gets an infield hit, but he's thrown out trying to stretch it to a double. 4-1 for the second out. And the batter is the left fielder, Bobby Andrews, who was not a member of the Diablos when they were no-hit. Right-handed batter, the first pitch to him, he shows bunt, pulls the bat back, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Andrews in 4 games hitting .167, 2 for 12. He does have an RBI.
Today's report from the Stadium Rock Entertainment Center information booth for your Pacific race.
The windup and the 0-1. Low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Coming up at the end of this half inning, we'll send it back to the KFOR studios. Spencer Schubert will have a Brian LGH scoreboard update. 2 out, nobody on, thanks to a heads-up play by Shea McFeely and Jarrett Gardner a moment ago. Breaking ball chopped to third. Fair ball near the bag. Jones has it. Fires across to first in time. He's got a strong arm. And the side is retired. No runs, a hit, nobody left. After 3 innings of play, it's 1-0 Salt Dogs on 1240 AM KFOR.
Out there, we'll go ahead and send it right back to you, Jason. Right at the ballpark down in the heat of El Paso, Texas.
Thank you, Spencer. And again, that NASCAR Sprint Cup race at Pocono, Denny Hamlin emotional for a very good reason. Not only did he snap a 50-race winless streak, his biggest fan was his grandmother, who's 91 years old, and she passed away 3 days ago. And for Denny to win the race today, very emotional for him. He's one of the better-liked drivers on that Sprint Cup circuit, so congratulations to him. Top of the 4th inning, Salt Dogs 1, El Paso nothing. Phil Hawk to lead it off. He flew out his first time up. First pitch from Neitz comes inside for ball 1. Only run of the game came in the 2nd inning. Rafael Alvarez hit by a pitch with 1 out. And with 2 outs, he scored on an RBI triple by Gavin Dickey. The 1-0 to Hawk. Little outside and low, 2-0. Hawk digs back in, shin guard on that front leg, in a wide open stance, and he lines it right at the first baseman, Verostegui, for out number 1. Phil tattooed that ball, but he barely had time to get out of the batter's box. And there's 1 away. We've had a few hard-hit balls in this game that have gone right at Diablos fielders. Hopefully they'll start falling pretty soon. So here's Steve Alexander, who flew out to left his first time up. When I say flew out, I mean a line shot to left. Hit the ball right on the button, but it was run down by Bobby Andrews. First pitch here, big swing and a miss at a pitch low and in for strike 1. Oh, 1 the count. Right-hander to right-hander. This pitch swung on and missed 0-2. Back-to-back breaking balls that have dropped low and away from Steve, and he swung over the top of them. I never got back to why both teams line the top step of the dugout and lean on the rail like a college game, as that pitch came in the dirt, hopped by the catcher, Rodriguez, and caught a piece of the leg of Ron Teague, the umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But the reason they're up on the top step of the dugout is if you are sitting on the dugout bench, you are about at eye level with the grass, and you can't see anything. I sat down there during batting practice for a few minutes, and you really cannot see what's going on. The 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled slowly back to the backstop. Alexander just stays alive, 1-2. So it ends up looking, as I mentioned, very much like a college game where every player's leaning on the rail, watching the action. As the 1-2 pitch is low and away, check swing, appeal down to first, and no swing, says Sheldon Wheeler. Count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on for Lincoln. Here in the top of the 4th inning, we lead 1-0. Dogs have 3 hits. El Paso has 1, and that was an infield hit by Jerry Verostegui, where he tried to stretch it into a double and was thrown out at second base. 2-2, the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss, low and in the dirt, and picked up by Rodriguez. He'll tag Alexander for out number 2. First strikeout for Josh Neitz. And the batter is Alvarez, who was hit by a pitch on the right knee his first time up. Hopefully he's okay. He's still in the game, obviously. Or he didn't have to... Well, he had to run hard to second base after being hit by the pitch because McGill chopped out to the mound slowly. But then on the triple by Gavin Dickey, Raphael was able to jog home. First pitch to him here is low and in, ball 1. Salt Hogs manager Marty Scott is coaching down at third base, but he's not in the third base coaching box because they don't have a box out there. Here's a roller to the left side, backhanded by the shortstop Ponce, the throw to first in time. And the side is retired. Salt Hogs go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Today they head for the bottom half, 1-0 Lincoln on 1240 AM KFOR. Bibbs is low and in, ball 1. Bibbs grounded out to the first baseman Phil Hawk, his first time up. Brandon Jones in on the grass at third. Bibbs known for his ability to bunt. Now the 1-0 pitch. Inside corner, strike 1. Gardner has 1 strikeout through the first 3 innings. He has not walked a batter. It's only allowed 1 hit. Salt Dogs have a run on 3 hits. The 1-1. High fly ball down the line in right, twisting towards the corner. That will land foul on top of the batting cage that's in the Lincoln bullpen, and the count is 1-2. El Paso keeps their batting cage behind the home plates in the visitors' bullpen so that when the visiting team goes to warm up pitchers during a game, the bullpen catcher is sitting in the batting cage. Kind of an odd arrangement, but doesn't actually work out all that bad, and if a pitch gets away, it doesn't go anywhere. Gardner's 1-2 to Bibbs on its way. Grounded sharply right side foul, and the count will stay at 1-2. And the Dogs bullpen coach, Jake Ayers, has to go retrieve that ball as he kicked into fair territory. There's not a lot of foul territory once you get into the corners, although there is quite a bit behind home plate. The 1-2 pitch is high from Gardner, and the count is 2-2 to Bibbs. Arnaldo Ponce, Jorge Alvarez to follow in the 4th inning for El Paso. Gardner goes into the windup, and the 2-2 pitch. Popped up on the infield. Coming in is Machado, coming in is Brandon Jones, and Machado makes the catch for out number 1. Gardner has retired 9 of the 10 batters he faced. He retired the man who had a hit as well because Verostegui had that infield single that trickled into shallow center. He tried to stretch it into a double. McFeely picked it up and threw to Gardner, covering the bag at second. Gardner applied the tag for the out. So 1 away for Ponce, who grounded to second his first time up, swinging at the first pitch. And he jogged to first base on that play. Right-hander to right-hander, he shows bunt and takes a pitch up and away, 1-0. Well, the man on deck, Alvarez, is nowhere near the on-deck circle. He's out onto the grass in foul territory, pretty close to home plate. This pitch popped up right side. Will it stay in play for Hawk or McGill? Coming over near the Lincoln dugout, McGill calls for it and makes the catch as he runs into the rail and hangs on for the second out. Sean McGill, a nice basket catch right in front of that padded rail at the top step of the Lincoln dugout. He caught it, hit the rail. Steve Alexander came out to steady him a little bit, but the ball already secured. Nice play, McGill, and there's 2 away. Jorge Alvarez, the batter now. He grounded short his first time up. Taking a few big cuts outside the home plate circle before stepping into the box. And the odd thing about those cuts is he was swinging sharply downward as if he's trying not to uppercut the ball. Right-handed batter, first pitch to him is on just off the outside corner, ball one. Gardner peers over the glove, gets the sign from McGill as Alvarez steps back in. Each team with an Alvarez in the lineup, as this pitch sails a little inside splitter that time, but it missed 2-0. Jorge Alvarez, the DH for the Diablos, and Rafael Alvarez playing right field for Lincoln. So maybe we'll get a play where Alvarez lifts a fly to right that's caught by Alvarez. One can only hope. 2-0 to the Diablos designated hitter. Gardner's pitch. Fly ball to right center. Burris and Alvarez heading over, and what do you know? Alvarez will make the catch. Alvarez flies to Alvarez, and the side is retired. 1-2-3, nothing across. We played 4 in El Paso. 1-0 Salt Dogs on 1240 AM KFOR. Gavin Dickey and Shea McFeely to the plate against the right-hander Josh Neitz, who is allowed a run on 3 hits. Neitz has struck out 1. He has yet to walk a batter, although he did hit a batter, and that led to Lincoln's only run. McGill chopped slowly back to the mound his first time up. Right-hander to right-hander, Neitz from the windup, the kick, and the pitch. Slow breaking ball lifted into left field, coming on as Andrews. He will slide and make the catch. A nice catch sliding on his knees by Bobby Andrews, robbing McGill of a hit, and that's out number 1. Here's Gavin Dickey. He had the RBI triple his first time up. Salt Dogs were unable to bring him home from third. It was a 2-out RBI triple. Gavin now 3 for 15 in a Salt Dogs uniform with 2 RBI. Right-handed batter digs in, and the first pitch from the right-hander Neitz shows bunt, does Dickey, then he pulls the bat back as the pitch tails inside for ball 1.
Please report to the Speaker Rock News Center Information Booth to pick up your high-level Paso game.
St. Paul, a half a game behind the Dogs coming into tonight. St. Paul is not playing tonight, so we'll either be tied of them or a game ahead of them. That breaking pitch drops in there for strike 1. Right now we're ahead 1-0, so if the game ends like this, we'll have a 1-game lead in the North Division. We already lead by a game in the loss column. As the 1-1 pitch is grounded sharply to the left side, backhand, no, underneath the glove of Ponce into left field. Dickey is safe at first. Let's see how they rule that. That was a deep grounder in the hole that Ponce could not come up with, and that'll be the second hit for Gavin Dickey, so he's 2 for 2. And that's a welcome sign for Lincoln. Again, Gavin getting playing time in this series because Peachy Billette is not with the team. So it's important for Gavin to contribute, and tonight he has an RBI triple and now a single. Good speed at first, although the Dogs are 0 for 2 in stolen base tries tonight. Here's Shea McFeely, grounder to short his first time up, and the first pitch is up and away, ball 1. Now, one of those caught stealings was on a pitch out, so you take that one with a grain of salt, but Eddie Rodriguez is 2 for 2 in gunning down our runners. Long pause by Neitz, and he'll step off. Dickey has not attempted to steal as a member of the Salt Dogs. Let me see if I have his career numbers here. Time is called, and Rodriguez wants to go out to talk to Josh Neitz. Gavin Dickey, over his career, 49 steals. He's been caught 22 times. Most steals he ever had was in his first year as a pro for Everett in the Class A Northwest League. 16 steals in 18 tries. This year, he was limited by an injury during his time with the Mariners organization this year and only had 1 steal. That hamstring injury has healed. His last full season in 2008, he stole a combined 20 bases at 2 different levels. McFeely takes a breaking ball that stayed inside in the count 2-0. I said his season high was 16. I have to take that back. In 2008, he had 10 steals for low Class A Wisconsin and another 10 for high Class A high desert. So he's had 20 in a year. Gavin's got a pretty good lead over there. Not running on the 2-0, and McFeely takes it a little low and away, 3-0. And they really like playing this upbeat music between pitches, even when the Salt Dogs are batting. 3 balls, no strikes. This pitch taken all the way, and that's a strike at the letters, 3-1. McFeely not going to swing at that one. Willing to give Neitz the chance to walk him on 4, but now a hitter's count pitch for Shea. 3 balls and a strike. Let's see if we send the runner here. Salt Dogs have done that quite a bit this year on 3-1 pitches. Dickey is going. The pitch chopped to the third base side. Backing up on it is Camacho. Awkward play, but he has it. The throw to first is in time for out number 2. So McFeely grounds to third, but Dickey in motion on the play is at second base. And with 2 outs, the batter, Brandon Jones, he had an infield single his first time up. Salt Dogs had a similar situation in the second inning. 2 outs, a runner on second. That was when Dickey hit the triple to score Alvarez with the game's only run. Now Brandon Jones with a 2-out RBI opportunity. 2 outs and runners in scoring position for the Lincoln this year. Jones hitting .238, although he's hitting .341 with runners in scoring position overall. Right-hander to right-hander, Neitz his pitch. Little pop-up back behind the plate, out of play. And the count is 0-1 as the ball bounces around some empty seats. I have to be honest about it. It's not a very good crowd for, although it is a Monday night here in El Paso. It's not a prime night, if you will. And a few more fans are here than were here at first pitch, kind of a late arriving crowd. Big lead at second for Dickey and the 0-1 to Jones. Check swing outside, appeal down to first, and no swing. Count as a ball and a strike. It should also be noted that this is a 10,000-seat stadium. This is the biggest stadium in the league. And if you have 2,000 fans here, it doesn't look like nearly as much as if you have 2,000 fans in, well, certainly Pensacola or Shreveport or Lincoln or anywhere else. The 1-1 to Jones. Popped up right side. Will this stay in play? Coming back to the backstop is Rodriguez, and he will run out of room and gets over the screen. And the count is 1-2. One nothing Lincoln, top of the 5th inning. The Dogs have a speedy runner at second in Gavin Dickey. There are 2 outs. Brandon Jones has a 1-2 count. A base hit could double the lead, especially since with that spacious outfield here in El Paso, the outfielders have to play a little deeper. Brandon Jones has an infield hit. He'll probably get a pitch on the outer half here. Brandon needs to be looking the other way. Let's see. A 1-2 pitch. Low and away. He lays off it. Good eye. 2-2. There's almost no way Neitz is going to give Jones anything on the inner half. Shreveport-Bossier made that mistake in Game 2 yesterday, and Jones hit a 3-run homer over the left field wall. 2-2 to Jones. And now time called at the plate by Brandon. Outfield is shading Brandon to hit the other way. The center fielder, Kennard Bibbs, over several steps towards right center. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pulled off a slider, and Jones down on strikes to end the inning. No runs, a hit, a man left. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 1-0 Dogs on 1240 AM KFOR. Camacho, switch hitter, was hitting left-handed. Had to race in a long ways to get that ball, and Camacho saw that, went to second. Alvarez rushed the throw in there. It was wide and high of the bag, but Brandon Jones at third backed it up. Jones giving signs from his third base position in case the Diablos try to bunt the runner over to third. The batter, Jeff Vincent, who popped out his first time up. The left-handed batter for Gardner to face. Corner infielders are in. And Jones playing as if he anticipates the bunt. The pitch, bunt not shown, and it's a little low and in, ball 1.
Let's get some runs on the board.
Salt Dogs committing the first error of the ball game. Runner on second, nobody out. 1-0 the count. Gardner to Vincent. Line foul off to the left, out of play, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Tell you what, folks, you may have heard, if you were listening to the background of the public address announcer here, starting a chant of "We Want a Hit." I remember that coming here last year. I cannot say I'm a fan of that. Now the 1-1. Breaking ball up high, 2-1. In general, I'm not really a fan of parks where the public address announcer tells the fans to make noise. Don't believe we do that at Haymarket Park. Chris Lofgren, our PA announcer, has some things that he does, but that's not one of them. Swing and a miss. And the count 2-2. And with 2 strikes, the Salt Dogs can back up to normal position at the corner infield spots. Doesn't look like the bunt's in play here for the Diablos. 1-0 Lincoln. Runner on second, nobody out for El Paso. The 2-2 pitch. Chopper to the right side. That is a foul ball. And we'll do it again. A run on 4 hits and an error for Lincoln now. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for El Paso. Jared Gardner is working on quite a string against the Diablos. Now, I can't go back with the records I have in front of me here past last year, but Gardner threw 2 complete games last year against El Paso. He gave up 1 run in a complete game at Haymarket Park in June of last year, then threw a complete game shutout last July here in El Paso. That pitch low and away, and the count is full to Vincent, 3-2. And then, of course, Gardner threw the no-hitter against El Paso at Haymarket Park this June. So Gardner, his last 3 starts against the Diablos have all been complete games. 2 have been shutouts, and 1 has been a no-hitter. And he's yet to allow a run and only 1 hit so far in this game. The 3-2 pitch. Low and in, ball 4. First walk issued by Gardner. He's in a little bit of trouble here. First and second, nobody out. There should be 1 out. And if you grant the walk anyway, a runner at first, but the 2-base error by Phil Hawk has put Gardner in a bind not entirely of his own making. The catcher, Eddie Rodriguez, will bat. He grounded short his first time up. Gardner could get him to do that again. He'd be 2/3 of the way to getting out of this jam. Corner infielders are in again for Lincoln in case Rodriguez bunts. Gardner set. The kick and the pitch. Bunt is shown. Bunted hard at third base. Jones will have to field it. His throw will go to first in time for out number 1. But that's exactly what Rodriguez wanted to do. Bunt it right at the third baseman Jones. Make him field it. The sacrifice is successful. Second and third with 1 out for Hector Bernal. Bernal flew out to center his first time up, and the infield for Lincoln will come in. If you play the infield back here, you're conceding the tying run for the second out. But playing the infield in, you're trying to protect the 1-0 lead here in the 5th inning. Interesting decision for Marty Scott. Righty to lefty. Gardner kicks and delivers. Popped foul back behind the plate, out of play for strike 1. Ball landing just a little bit to my left. On the count. Gardner could use a strikeout right here. I'm sure what the booing is. Apparently somebody who got the baseball won't give it to a kid, I would assume. Now the 0-1 pitch. Chopper right side foul, 0-2. So Gardner has him set up. Let's see if he can finish him off. Jarrett only has 1 strikeout tonight. He's the Salt Dogs' all-time leader in strikeouts, but he hasn't had as many this year. Although I would argue at times he's been more effective not getting strikeouts. He's been a good ground ball pitcher. Right here, though, he needs the punch out. Second and third, 1 out, 1-0 Lincoln, bottom 5. Gardner set, and the 0-2 pitch. Up high, way high. McGill out of the crouch to grab it, 1-2. Ball goes to the backstop here. You've pretty much got no chance of cutting down a runner at the plate. There's a lot of room between home plate and the backstop. One ball, 2 strikes. Second and third, infield in. Take a grounder right at McFeely, too. The stretch in the 1-2. Fly ball, fairly deep right center field. Back is Burris, back is Alvarez. And the ball dying out there. Did Alvarez catch it? Yes, he did. And both runners tag up. The game is tied at 1. Is coming home to score is Juan Camacho. Vincent to third. Looked like Burris and Alvarez out there kind of had a miscommunication as to who would catch that ball. And at the last minute, Alvarez had to run in a few steps and make a diving catch. I wasn't sure if he'd come up with it. Camacho scores. That's an unearned run thanks to the error by Hawk. A sac fly for Bernal. He gets the RBI, 2 away. And the batter is Verostegui, who singled and was thrown out at second trying to stretch it into a double his first time up. Game is tied at 1 because of the error. And if any more runs score in this inning, they would also be unearned. Gardner to Verostegui, roller out to second base, backhanded by McFeely, throw to first in time. And the side is retired. 1 unearned run scores, no hits in the inning, an error and a walk and a man left. We go to the 6th inning, the game now tied at 1 on 1240 AM KFOR. Here in the 6th inning as Burris turns around and needs pitch and drives it to the gap in left center field for 2 bases. That brings up Albanus Machado. A lot of fans still like Machado around here, of course. After he was with Lincoln for his first stint, he came to El Paso in 2006. And it was from El Paso that he was picked up by the Chicago Cubs organization, spent a little time there, then came back to El Paso. And then last year, he left El Paso for the Mexican League. El Paso retained his rights in this league, and then we traded Josh Cowton to the Diablos for Machado's rights, and he rejoined us at the end of July last year. But Albanus still has some fans here in West Texas. Machado is 0 for 2. First pitch to him is up and in, ball 1. The corner infielders are in for El Paso. They're anticipating a bunt, but Machado never showed it. The hit for Burris is the 5th of the night for Lincoln. Good pitcher's duel between Gardner and Neitz. Now the 1-1 to Machado. High drive to right field. Going back is Vincent. Burris tagging. Vincent will make the catch. Burris racing for third. Here comes the throw. Not anywhere near the bag. Camacho has to come down the line to pick it up, and there's a runner on third with 1 away. Machado does his job. A fly ball to the right side moves the runner to third, and Burris is there for Phil Hawk. Hawk is looking for a little redemption. It was his error in the bottom of the 5th inning that put the runner on base for El Paso. That was Camacho who eventually scored. Without that error, El Paso still doesn't have a run. So Phil, a chance to drive in the go-ahead run here. El Paso's going to bring the infield in with 1 out. And I tell you what, the person who doesn't like that is the first baseman, Verostegui. Last time Phil was up, he ripped a screaming line drive right at Verostegui, who made the catch, but Verostegui was playing back. Now he's playing in, and he's about 85 feet away from Phil Hawk's bat. The pitch. Outside, 1-0. They could pitch around Hawk here to get to Steve Alexander, who's 0 for 2. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if they did. 1 ball, no strikes. This pitch is on the outside corner, strike 1, and Hawk kind of stands up with a look on his face that tells me he's not too sure about that call by Ron Teague. 1 ball, 1 strike. Neitz is going to pitch him away, and this pitch is low and away, 2-1. The only way they're going to come inside to Hawk is if they come in off the plate here. If Phil's going to drive in the run, he may have to lift the ball to left field. 2-1. The next pitch, low and away, 3-1. And at this point, looks like Rodriguez is going to stand up. And will he stick the glove out? Yes, he will. This will end up being an intentional walk. So ball 4 comes in intentionally wide. Hawk is at first. He doesn't get a chance to swing the bat, and Alexander's up in a big spot. First and third, 1 out. We hit very well in the series just completed at Shreveport-Bossier. We had some issues with hits in clutch situations. Managed to overcome it, especially in that second game of the series, the first game of the doubleheader yesterday, where we left a bunch of guys on base but still won the game 3-2. Alexander needs to come through here. First pitch, low and away, ball 1. Burris is at third. Hawk is at first. 1 out. Game tied at 1 in the 6th inning. The kick and the pitch. Downstairs, 2-0. Rafael Alvarez on deck. Fly ball means a run. Neitz makes a mistake on the inner half, and Alexander finds that left center field gap. It could be 2. They're playing him to hit the other way. The 2-0 pitch is outside, 3-0. Go-ahead run is at third. Good speed in Josh Burris. Hawk at first. Now the 3-0. Taken all the way. That's called a strike. Alexander had dropped his bat, started to walk away, and only then did Ron Teague make the strike call. Delayed call there by Teague. I think Alexander not hearing anything. I don't know if he assumed the pitch was a ball, if he just didn't hear the umpire say anything and thought it was ball 4. Now the 3-1. There goes Hawk. Chopper to the left side. Up with it is Ponce. His only play is to first. Alexander is thrown out, but Burris scores, and the Dogs lead 2-1. And the fact that Hawk was running kept that from being a double play. That worked out perfectly for Lincoln. That's why we send the runner a lot on 3-1, to avoid a double play. And it works out well. Alexander gets the RBI, his 42nd of the season. That ties him with Hawk for the team lead. Phil is at second base with 2 outs, and the batter is Alvarez. Alvarez 0 for 1, hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 2nd inning. 2-1 Lincoln here. We've answered the run by El Paso in the 5th, and we have a 2-1 lead in the 6th. That pitch a little outside and low, apparently ball 1 to Alvarez. Rafael with Pensacola this year in 10 games hit .353 against Diablo's pitching. The 1-0. Roller to the right side. Up with it is the second baseman Bernal. His throw to first is in time, and the side is retired. But the Salt Dogs retake the lead. 1 run on a hit, 1 man left. To the bottom of the 6th we go. 2-1 Lincoln on 1240 AM KFOR. Verostegui. Splitter for another strike, 0-2. Gardner has been like kryptonite to the Diablos over his career. The 0-2 pitch, low and away, 1-2. As we mentioned, this is his 4th start against El Paso the last 2 years. Each of the previous 3 starts, he had a complete game win. The 1-2. Little off the plate, 2-2. Just outside. Gardner gets his sign from McGill. The wind up and now time call. Wind still blowing in, although it looks like, well, it looks like it's blowing towards the left field line now, so in from right a little bit. As Gardner brings home the 2-2. Pop foul high to the right, out of play. That will find the concourse at the top of the bleachers, and the count stays at 2-2.
James Stuckfield will win a new home provided by Gas by Square. If your Diablos can hit the fight.
Next pitch for Gardner will only be his 60th, and we're in the 6th inning, so he's been very efficient. The windup and the 2-2. Fly ball foul, right side out of play again. I want to find the bleachers. Fan with the glove can't quite make the catch. We'll stay at 2-2. 2 more games after tonight here in El Paso. Then an off day on Thursday. We'll be flying home on Thursday. And we open up a 7-game homestand on Friday at the end of the week. The 2-2 pitch. Low and away, full count, 3-2. I want to remind fans, by the way, that tickets for the new Budweiser Home Run Terrace beyond the right center field fence at Haymarket Park. A beautiful new addition to the seating. We'll tell you more about that in a moment as the payoff pitch is lined down the line. A little looper, foul over the head of Hawk, out of reach, but foul, and the count remains 3-2. But that new all-you-can-eat seating section is open. Standard adult price for the all-you-can-eat food package and the Pepsi soda package, $25. Kids 12 and under get that package for $15. And the adults, for an extra $5, could also add 4 drink tickets for alcohol in the Budweiser Home Run Terrace. The 3-2 pitch, line fouled to the right again. 4 foul balls with 2 strikes for Andrews. But the other great thing about the Budweiser Home Run Terrace is that now you can buy your tickets for the Home Run Terrace online at saltdogs.com simply by clicking on the tickets link. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Little low, ball 4. Gardner's second walk of the game. That's rather odd for him, and a leadoff walk to boot, as the Diablos have the leadoff man on for the second inning in a row. Kennard Bibbs will bat. He's grounded to first and popped to short. McGill out to talk to Gardner for a moment. Now Sean will head back behind the plate.
The order for your Diablo, center fielder number 3,
Third baseman Jones in on the grass in case Bibbs bunts. Can't imagine that Bibbs would sacrifice here. He might, but if he's bunting, I think he's going to try to get a hit out of it. First pitch to him, he shows bunt, takes a little up and away, 1-0. Anders down at first. Has his lead. Jones way in at third, and the throw to first chases the runner back to the bag. 1-0 the count. Gardner comes set. And the pitch. Bunted in the air, first base side, that'll drop. Gardner slides, picks it up, flips to Hawk on the bag. Nice play, the out recorded. Bibbs will get the sacrifice. Gardner went down to his knees to pick up that ball, and then kind of falling onto his back, flipped it to Hawk, who made a nice stretch and caught the ball just ahead of Bibbs getting to the bag for the first out. So Andrews down to second on the sacrifice by Bibbs. He was trying to get on, but he'll get the sacrifice. And the batter, Ronaldo Ponce, who's grounded to second and fouled out to the catcher, McGill. Righty-righty matchup here. And the first pitch. Splitter drops in there, strike one. Two runs on 5 hits and an error for Lincoln. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors for El Paso. That error led to the Diablos' only run. Now Gardner wheels towards second to bluff Andrews back to the bag. Gardy from the stretch gets a sign from McGill and comes set. Long look at second in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the glove of McGill on the count 0-2. Anders getting a pretty healthy lead at second. He has 1 stolen base since joining El Paso. This is only his 5th game for them. And he does represent the tying run here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Gardner's set and the 0-2 pitch. Just off the plate, 1-2.
All right, El Paso, let's get going again.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, runner on second. Arnaldo Ponce, the batter. Jared Gardner set. And the pitch. Splitter popped up right side. Shallow right field. Alvin McFeely in his Alvarez, but Shea is there. He'll make the catch for out number 2. So Ponce pops up to the second baseman, and the batter, Jorge Alvarez. Alvarez has grounded to short and flied to right. One of the top 10 hitters in the league. His 60 RBI lead the club. If you pitch around him with first base open, you would get to Camacho, who's also good. Camacho, though, a switch hitter, would bat left-handed. Alvarez, a right-handed hitter. Although the splits for Jared Gardner this year are reversed from his career totals. Righties came into this game hitting .299 against Gardner. Lefties only .226. The kick and the pitch to Alvarez, hit high in the air to right field, not deep. Rafael Alvarez will make the catch. Alvarez again flies to Alvarez. Second time in a row he's done that, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, a walk, a man left. We go to the 7th inning, 2-1 Lincoln on 1240 AM, KFOR. McGill 0 for 2, a ground ball back to the mound and a fly ball to left. He hits a drive into left field this time. That's in the gap. It's going to get down and it's going to roll. McGill around first on his way to second. Cut off by Bibbs. The throw comes back into second. It's cut off and Sean has a leadoff double. Boy, you find the gaps in this ballpark and you're guaranteed at least 2 bases. McGill didn't take it all the way to the warning track, but he hit it in the perfect spot. And for the second straight inning, Lincoln has a leadoff double. That'll bring Gavin Dickey to the plate. This could be a bunting situation, but by the same token, Dickey is 2 for 2 with a single and an RBI triple. Corner infielders are in case Dickey does lay a bunt down. If he's going to bunt it, he has to bunt it right at the third baseman, Camacho, make him field it, and open up third base for McGill. Salt Dogs moved the runner to third with 1 out last inning on a fly ball to right. We didn't use the bunt. Machado swung away to move Burris to third. Now Dickey calls time at the plate before the first pitch. There's a lot of ways you can move the runner over without bunting. You can simply hit the ball to the right side. A ground ball to second will move McGill to third. A ground ball to first will do the same thing. A fly ball to right, if it's deep enough, will also move the runner over. And even though you don't get a sacrifice credit for any of those, you've still done your job. For Sean McGill, by the way, that was his 13th double of the year. Now we're ready for action. The pitch came inside, spun Dickey off the plate, ball 1. I think the Diablos were expecting a bunt. And the way you counter a bunt on the first pitch is you bring the ball inside around the letters and make the batter react defensively, but Dickey didn't show bunt. The 1-0. Lined into right field, base hit. McGill got a late start, and he's going to be held at third as the ball has gotten back in quickly by the right fielder, Vincent, but it's runners at the corners, nobody out, and Gavin Dickey is 3 for 3. Salt Dogs barking in the top of the 7th. Here's Shea McFeely, 2 ground ball outs, 1 to short, 1 to third. He needs to elevate the ball here. A double play would score a run, but you'd prefer at least a fly ball. You don't want to give up 2 outs to get that run. McGill at third, Dickey at first. Another good opposite field swing by Gavin Dickey. Now the pitch to McFeely. Fouled back to the screen, strike 1. Salt Dogs back-to-back hits here in the 7th inning. We now have 7 hits on the night. El Paso still only has the 1. Right-hander to right-hander, and Josh Neitz decides to try the old fake the third, look to first move. Don't believe that's worked in baseball in about 10 years. 0-1 to McFeely. And Neitz does it again. Wow, that's the rare fake the third, look to first, and then fake the third, look to first again move. Pardon me for not being all that impressed. Still 0-1. Now the pitch. Fouled back again, 0-2. McFeely tried to wait back on that slider, but he fouled it back. You don't want to strike out here, that's for certain. Have to put the ball in play. Important insurance run down there at third with nobody out. McGill doubled and Gavin Dickey singled. Runners at the corners, and now time called by the catcher, Rodriguez. There is activity in the El Paso bullpen. A right-hander's up and throwing. That doesn't tell you anything because El Paso does not have a left-handed pitcher on their roster. They have 11 right-handers. Actually 12 if you count the man on the disabled list, David Wiggum. Try to figure out who that is in a moment. 0-2 to McFeely, and the pitch. Up high, ball 1. Hard to tell who's throwing as a throw to first. Chases Gavin Dickey back to the bag. It's hard to tell who's throwing in the home bullpen from my perspective because the pitcher is throwing the ball towards me, and therefore I cannot see the number on the back of his jersey. El Paso does have numbers on the front, but they're smaller and hard to read. A 1-2 pitch to McFeely. Chopper third base side. Diving stop at third. The throw comes home, and it's wide, and everybody's safe. And now Dickey will head to third, throw back to third. That's in time, and he's out. So Gavin Dickey, base running mistake there, gets thrown out at third for the first out of the inning, but a run does score, and it's 3-1. That was a bouncing ball down the line. Camacho made a diving stop, but unwisely threw home. It was well wide of the plate. McGill would have scored anyway. McFeely's safe at first. They haven't granted a hit yet. That could be a fielder's choice. Gavin Dickey went to second. The ball hit the glove of Rodriguez and rolled up the first baseline, so Dickey decided to try for third, but Rodriguez ran the ball down and gunned him down at third base for the out. McFeely gets an RBI. That's his 30th of the year, and here is Brandon Jones with the runner on first and one out. The pitch. Ground ball left side. That's going to be knocked down by the shortstop Ponce deep in the hole, but no play. It's an infield hit for Brandon Jones. First and second now with only one out. And I think they have now given a hit to Shea McFeely on that grounder to third. There was a diving stop by Camacho. There's no guarantee he gets anybody. So that's 4 straight hits for Lincoln here. And the manager of the Diablos, Butch Henry, comes out of the dugout. That might be all for Josh Neitz. Have not seen a call to the pen yet. It might be Yuri Santana warming up down there. I thought I picked up a 4 on the jersey. He wears number 40. And Butch Henry has yet to ask for the baseball from his starter. Salt Dogs have doubled their lead here from 2-1 to 3-1. And Henry will not take Neitz out of the game yet. He's going to leave him in there to face Josh Burris, who doubled and scored an inning ago. McGill doubled. Dickey singled. McFeely, an infield single to third. The throw went home not in time. Ball got away for a moment, but then Gavin Dickey, trying to go from first to third, was thrown out. But then Brandon Jones, an infield hit, so first and second, one out for Burris. The pitch. Little inside, ball 1. Burris doubled, one hopping off the wall in left center field in the 6th inning. Eventually scored on the Alexander groundout. McFeely at second, Brandon Jones at first. The 1-0 to Burris. Down and in, 2-0. If Neitz doesn't get Burris, I guarantee you Butch Henry will come right back out of the El Paso dugout and take him out of the game. Machado's on deck. Neitz, the kick and the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a foul tip at the plate. Strike 1. Three runs on 9 hits and an error now for Lincoln. A run on a hit. No errors for El Paso. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Salt Dogs have scored a run to make it 3-1 and have a chance maybe to break the game open. The 2-1 pitch. Grounded sharply foul off the fence in front of the Diablos dugout, and the count is even at 2-2. Burris is 2 for 3 tonight. He singled in the first inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the third, and then the double we talked about in the 6th. Two balls, 2 strikes. 2 on, 1 out, 2-run lead for Lincoln. Neitz, the kick and the pitch. Swinging a chopper foul at the plate, and we'll do it again. And Josh fouled that one off his foot, and he's limping around down the first baseline. Something else we don't want to see. As we talked about at the top of the broadcast, Peachy Billette is not with the team for this series. So we're down to 3 outfielders. Rafael Alvarez was hit by a pitch on the knee in the 2nd inning and was down in pain for a while, but he stayed in the game. Now Burris limping around, and the trainer Clint Kirkland talking to him. And actually, that may not have hit the foot. That may have hit up higher on the leg as Kirkland is checking out. It looks like the right knee of Burris. And it looks like he's testing the stability. You know, gives him a pat. Looks like he'll be okay. Clint will go back to leaning on the top, the rail on the top step of the dugout, and Burris will go back to the plate with a 2-2 count. Tell you what, folks, I know I'm biased, but I think Clint Kirkland's one of the best in the league, if not one of the best in the business, period, at athletic training, course, he travels with us on the road trips. Can't forget Corey Courtney, who's with us for all the home games as well. Two of the best trainers in the American Association. 2-2 to Burris. This pitch, a little inside. He checked his swing late off, and the count is full, 3-2. One out, runners on first and second, full count. And the question is, will Marty Scott put McFeely at second and Jones at first in motion on the pitch? I'm not even going to try to guess. They're not running. The 3-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. And Burris down on strikes for the second out.
After the strikeout for John.
Third strikeout for Neitz. 2 away, and here's Machado, who is 0 for 3. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning, flew out to center in the third, flew out to right in the sixth. Left-handed batters again hitting over 300 against Neitz coming in, and Machado will bat lefty here. First pitch to him. Ground ball right side, base hit. Coming around third is McFeely. He's on his way home. Alvarez up with the ball. Here's the throw to the plate. It's high. McFeely slides. He's safe. 4-1 Lincoln. RBI single for Machado. Over to third goes Jones, and the Dogs have a 3-run lead. If that throw is down on the plate, there might be a play on McFeely. The throw was right to the plate, but it was so high that Rodriguez had to leap to catch it. And the Dogs lead by 3. That will be all for Josh Neitz. As right back out of the dugout comes El Paso manager Butch Henry. It's a call to the bullpen. As righties who can do that are few and far between. Santana has done it in limited opportunity. Again, 3 for 18 is not a lot of at-bats. It's what you call a small sample size. Phil Hawk tonight is 0 for 2. He was walked intentionally in the 6th inning. He's hit the ball hard twice, flew out to deep center in the first, and lined out to the first baseman Verostegui in the in the fourth. Runners at the corners, 2 out, 4-1 Lincoln. 2 runs are in. The pitch blown away, ball 1. The line on Josh Neitz so far, 6 2/3 innings, 4 runs, all earned on 10 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts, 88 pitches, and he's responsible for the 2 runners on base. 1-0 to count. Santana from the stretch. He'll fake to third and throw to first, but Machado had a very short lead, and he just walked back to the bag. It's the first time I've seen the fake to third, look to first, and then actually throw the ball move, but there was no way Machado was going to be picked off. Salt Dogs out hitting El Paso 10-1 tonight. The bats took a while to get going tonight, but we've cranked it up the last 2 innings, and we have a double-digit hit night again. Another throw to first, and again Machado back in. Albanis caught stealing in the first inning, so he's now 15 for 17 in stolen base tries. And Eddie Rodriguez, the catcher, out to talk to Santana. I think those throws to first are more a product of Santana not being sure of what pitch he wants to throw. (4-1 Lincoln, 2 out, 2 on, top of the 7th inning, 1-0 to Hawk. Santana set, and the pitch in the dirt, picked on the short hop by Rodriguez, 2-0. Again, coming up at the end of the half inning, we will send it back to Spencer Schubert for a Brian LGH scoreboard update at the KFOR studios. But I don't think Spencer minds waiting with Lincoln in the midst of a rally here in the top of the 7th. In fact, I think Spencer's hoping Phil Hawk can continue the rally. 2-0 to Phil. Righty to lefty, the kick and the pitch. Lined into right field. That's down the line for a hit. 1 run is in. Around second is Machado racing for third. Hawk racing for second. The throw comes in. They're going to hold Machado at third. It's an RBI double for Phil Hawk, and the Dogs lead 5-1. The only reason that didn't score 2 is the right fielder, Jeff Vincent, cut it off before it got all the way into the corner. If it gets past him, that's an easy RBI double, and Hawk might have had a triple. Jones scored from third. Hawk has his 43rd RBI. He retakes the team lead. He was tied for all of an inning with Steve Alexander. And speaking of which, here is Alexander, who had an RBI ground out his last time up. He's 0 for 3, but with runners at second and third, if Steve gets a base hit, he could go right past Phil Hawk and take the team lead again. First pitch to Alexander, breaking ball right in there, strike 1. Right-handed batters against Santana are hitting .246, which is a pretty good number to post. He's been hard to hit this year. But Hawk solved him a moment ago. Now the 0-1. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Alexander, the 8th man to bat in the inning. 3 have scored. Salt Dogs have 6 hits in the inning and 11 in the ballgame. And we'd be even further in front if we hadn't had a runner thrown out at third. Big swing and a miss by Alexander, 1-2.
Yeah, baby.
We've hit 10 o'clock Central Time on 1240 AM KFOR Lincoln. It's 9 o'clock where I am in El Paso, Texas. As the Salt Dogs lead El Paso 5-1 in the top of the 7th. The 1-2 pitch. Chopper, third base side. Camacho cuts it off. The throw to first is on the bag in time, and the side is retired. Alexander just missed a seeing eye single. And 2 are stranded, but the Dogs scored 3 runs on 6 hits. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, 5-1 Lincoln. Let's send it back to Spencer Schubert at the studios of 1240 AM KFOR.
Got me waiting for Phil Hawk to add to the rally. He did it right there, and I wasn't too bad about waiting for it either. Back to you.
Spencer, I'm glad you have such a positive attitude about the whole thing. Salt Dogs feeling good right now. 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jared Gardner will toe the rubber again. Juan Camacho, Jeff Vincent, Eddie Rodriguez, the 3 batters he will face. 4, 5, and 6 for El Paso. Gardner has allowed an unearned run on just 1 hit tonight. First pitch to Camacho was a breaking ball fouled back, 0-1. Camacho struck out looking in the 2nd inning, reached on an error by Phil Hawk and scored in the 5th. Oh-1 to Camacho, switch hitter batting left-handed. The next pitch hit high in the air to left center field. Going back is Dickey, going back is Burris. Long run. Dickey settles under it on the warning track and makes the catch for out number 1. A deep drive to left field. In some other parks that might have been over the wall, but here in El Paso, it's a long way out to that gap in left center and a high wall to boot. And the ball knocked down a little bit by the wind as well, and Gavin Dickey ran it down. 1 away for Jeff Vincent, 0 for 1 with a walk. Gardner has walked 2. He's only struck out 1. But he's only allowed the 1 hit. That was an infield hit in the 3rd inning, and the man who got the hit, Verostig, he was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double. Righty to lefty, the pitch to Vincent. He bunts it right back to the mound. Gardner has it to the left of the mound. The throw to first is in time for the 2nd out. Not a very good bunt by Vincent, and of course Jared Gardner, one of the best in the league at fielding his position from the mound. Quickly 2 up and 2 down.
Diablos, the catcher, number 16, Rodriguez.
Here's Eddie Rodriguez, 0 for 1 with a ground out and a sacrifice bunt. Right-handed batter digs in. Gardner from the windup. That's where he's been most of the night. The first pitch, up and away, 1-0. Now, he spent most of the 5th inning in the stretch because of the error and the walk to lead off the inning. And he did walk the leadoff man in the 6th, so he pitched from the stretch in that frame as well. The 1-0's hit high in the air to center field. Burris retreating. Has a beat on it, drifting over towards left center, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. A deep high fly ball, but no damage done as the Diablos go 1-2-3 in the 7th. We'll head for the 8th. It's 5-1. Spend on your phone is free. U.S. Cellular, believe in something better.
For your Diablos. Replacing number 40, Judy Santana, is number 30, El Paso Zone,
And Ricardo Rivas is the new El Paso pitcher. 6'1", 180 pounds out of. First pitch, big swing and a chop foul back to the backstop, 0-1. New baseball for Gardy. The 0-1 pitch in the dirt, and I stopped by McGill. 1 ball, 1 strike.
All right, El Paso, you know what we want. We want it! We want it!
1 ball, 1 strike. Ponce, the runner at second. Vincent, the runner at first. 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. Salt Dogs still lead by 4. The kick and the pitch. Fly ball to center field shallow. Out is Machado. In is Burris. And it is dropped by Machado. 1 run is in. They will hold the runner at third, and it's 6-3. Machado tried to make an over-the-shoulder basket catch with that blue. Could not bring it in. And the tying run will come to the plate here in the ninth inning, and I see Marty Scott coming out of the dugout. Oh, Gardner might lose a complete game with 1 out to go. And are they going to rule that a hit? I think they are. Let's see if Marty will let Gardner pitch to one more hitter here. Conversation going on the mound. I think Gardner's pleading his case. Petrusic is warmed up in the bullpen, not Thompson. And Marty's going to leave Gardner in there. That's an RBI bloop single for Eddie Rodriguez. Runners at the corners. Hector Bernal's the tying run. He's 0 for 2 with a sac fly. He's flied out 3 times. Bernal has 1 home run all year.
With runners on the corner. Up next, we go Diablo. Second baseman, number 13.
Righty to lefty. Gardner just needs 1 more out. He nearly had it on that blooper. Tough luck for him on the previous hit. The pitch. Inside corner, strike 1. Got a feeling this will be the last batter Gardner faces. No matter what happens. Gardner. The stretch, the 0-1. Downstairs in the dirt, knocked down by McGill. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Everybody clap your hands.
If we make a pitching change here, folks, it's going to be to Petrusic. Nobody else is warmed up. El Paso 4 hits here in the ninth inning. One and one the count to Bernal. Gardner's pitch. Fly ball to the gap, right center field. Long run for Alvarez. He's not going to get there. That is all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. Coming around third is Rodriguez. He will score. It's a triple for Bernal, and it is 6-5. Oh, my goodness. And the tying run is 90 feet away. Jared Gardner was unhittable through 8 innings, but he's given up 5 hits and 4 runs here in the ninth. And that's going to be all for him. He still has a chance to earn his 10th win. But it'll be up to Matt Petrusic to lock it down. It's a call to the bullpen brought to you by US. 6 games for Lincoln, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 3 runs, all unearned, so he has no ERA. He's walked 1, he struck out 6. The league is hitting .250 against him. Jared Gardner could not complete the ninth inning. Gave up a leadoff triple to Bibbs, an RBI single to Ponce. He got 2 flyouts, so there were 2 outs and a runner on first, and it was 6-2. Jeff Vincent then singled, so first and second, and then Eddie Rodriguez hit a little bloop to shallow center. Machado tried to make a basket catch over the shoulder and could not hang on. That made it 6-3, and then Hector Bernal, a 2-run triple to right center, made it 6-5. Now, Matt Petrusic is on to try to save the game. And the batter is Gerardo Verosky, who's 1 for 3 with that infield hit in the 3rd inning. Righty to lefty, the pitch. Fastball, a little up and away, 1-0. One and 0. Petrusic's pitch. Up high, 2-0. You're wondering why not Chris Thompson, the closer. Petrusic started warming up in the ninth inning when this was not a safe situation. And the situation changed so quickly, Thompson did not have time to warm up. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch. Chopper to the right side. Hawk cannot get him. McFeely gets it. The throw to first. Petrusic caught the throw, but the runner is ruled safe, and the tying run scores. Petrusik caught that ball. He thought he was on the bag. Marty Scott is out to argue with Sheldon Wheeler. This game is tied, and Marty is livid. Boy, McFeely fielded that ball in shallow right after Hawk couldn't get to it. Petrusik got over there. The throw was low. Matt caught the short hop, tripped over the bag, it looked like. But the umpire called it safe, and Marty is right in the face of Sheldon Wheeler, and I can't say I blame him. Oh, my goodness. And this game is tied at 6. That'll be an infield hit for Verostegui, an RBI, and we're tied. Unbelievable.
Is number 1,
We'll have a pinch runner for Verostegui, David Washington, a reserve outfielder. And he is the winning run with 2 outs. Matt Petrusik would get a blown save. It looked like he had the game-ending ground out. And the batter is Bobby Andrews, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. This game was 6-1 entering the bottom of the 9th. The pitch. Down low, 1-0. Andrews, a 9th man to bat in the inning. Petrusik's 1-0. There goes the runner. Pitch downstairs. Throw down to second. The tag, and he is out. McGill guns down Washington, and will go to extra innings tied at 6. 5-run score on 6 hits, and nobody left. 6-6 after 9 on 1240 AM KFOR. The victim of a little bit of bad luck in that 9th. That blooper by Rodriguez could have been caught by Machado. Would have been a great play, but it's tough to give up a run like that, and then a 2-run triple. And then the game tied on a strange play. We'll explain it again in a moment. Rafael Alvarez will lead off the 10th, and the first pitch from Ricardo Rivas is outside, ball 1. With the runner on third and 2 out, Verostegui hit a chopper to the right side past Phil Hawk. Shea McFeely fielded it behind him in shallow right, through to Petrusik at first. As the 1-0 pitch is a strike in the outside corner, 1-1. Petrusik was over by the bag. The throw was low. Petrusik short-hopped it, and to me it looked like he actually tripped over the bag with the ball in his hand. And if he'd done that, the game would be over. The first base umpire, Sheldon Wheeler, said Petrusik did not touch the bag. The runner was safe on an infield hit, and the game was tied as the runner from third came home. That pitch in the dirt, 2-1 to Alvarez, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI double. He's also been hit by a pitch, and he scored 2 runs. The next pitch ruled a strike in the outside corner, 2-2, and Alvarez wasn't too happy about the first called strike, and he's really not happy about that one. In extra innings this year, the Salt Dogs are 1-4. El Paso was 5-6. This is their 12th extra inning game. Two and two. Righty to lefty. Rivas brings it in, and Alvarez foul tips it at the plate. Count stays at 2-2. Salt Dogs have to pick themselves up and get the bats going again. It's obviously deflating to blow a 6-1 lead in the 9th inning. But we're still tied, and we still have a chance to win. We just have to put another run on the board. The pitch in the dirt, full count, 3-2. The closer, Chris Thompson, now warming up for Lincoln. If we score a run to take the lead, he will obviously pitch the bottom of the 10th inning. Thompson, of course, was the closer for El Paso this year until we picked him up in a trade. The 3-2 pitch. Alvarez lifts it into left field, coming on as Andrews, and he'll make the catch. Thought for a moment that might get down, but Alvarez is retired for out number 1. The last time we went extra innings was that 16-inning game a couple of weeks ago. July 17th, to be exact, against Wichita, when Deacon Burns ended it with a walk-off homer. As for El Paso, have to look that one up. As Sean McGill steps in. El Paso last went extra innings on July 26th. And McGill takes a pitch that misses for ball 1. That was a game here in El Paso where they went to the 8th inning, tied at 12, and then Shreveport-Bossier scored 7 runs. Pitch up and away to McGill, 2-0. So the last extra inning game for El Paso was a game they ended up losing 15-8. So I suppose seeing 5 runs in the 9th inning is not surprising at all for them. The 2-0 pitch. Outside, 3-0. McGill gets on first. He can steal bases. He has 17 on the year. On deck is Gavin Dickey, who's 4 for 4. 3 balls, no strikes. McGill probably taking all the way. This pitch misses outside and low, ball 4. 4-pitch walk. Umpires in the stands here in El Paso didn't like that, but doesn't matter. So here's Dickey, an RBI triple in the first, or in the second, a single in the 5th, a single in the 7th, and an RBI single in the 8th. 4 for 4 with 2 ribbies. And now the manager of El Paso, Butch Henry, coming out to talk to Rivas. There's nobody up in the bullpen. I haven't seen anybody warming up in this inning for El Paso. Rivas is in his 3rd inning of work. He allowed a run in the 8th inning. Pitched around a 2-out single in the 9th. The entire infield is in on this conversation. They're convinced, I think, that the Salt Dogs will try something with McGill at first, whether it's a straight steal, a hit and run, or what it might be. Conference on the mound is over. Rivas obviously staying in the game with no one warming up behind him. Rivas came into this game with an ERA just under 5. And really, you have to think they brought him in, because he's not one of their better relievers, and they were down by 4 and then 5 runs. McGill with the lead, and the pitch to Dickey. Grounded back up the middle. Up with it is Rivas' throw to second low, but dug out of the dirt. The throw to first, that's in time. It's a 1-6-3 double play, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 10th, tied at 6 on 12:40 a.m. KFOR. Space in the 10th inning for El Paso. So hopefully we'll get to the 11th and I'll be able to find out. Andrews hits a high fly to shallow right. Out is McFeely towards the line. Long run. He'll make the catch near the line in fair territory for out number 1. Boy, Shea covers a lot of ground at second base, and he runs down that pop-up for the first out. You have to feel for Jarrett Gardner tonight. He came into the 9th inning having allowed 1 hit. And he gave up a triple and a single to start the 9th, but he got the next 2 men out. He was 1 out away from the complete game. Jeff Vinson hit a clean single. Then Rodriguez, the bloop single to center. That's the killer. And then the 2-run triple that chased Gardner. He ended up allowing 6 runs in 8 2/3 innings on 7 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Breaking ball to Bibbs is in there from Petrusik for strike 1. Kennard Bibbs 1 for 3 with that triple that led off the 9th inning and started the rally. Swing and a miss, fooled on the changeup by Petrusik, 0-2. A windup by Petrusik in the 0-2 pitch, slow and away, ball 1.
All right, El Paso, you know what we want.
Petrusik into the windup, a 1-2. Swing and a foul back, tipped through the, well, not through the glove of McGill, but Bibbs just got a piece of it and it ticked off the top of McGill's glove. The count will stay at 1-2. Now the windup, and again the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at a changeup, strike 3. 2 up and 2 down here in the 10th inning for Matt Petrusik.
Up next for your Diablos.
Now, I didn't get a chance to save when he came in and had a chance for the save in the 9th, but he did save 24 games last year for Sussex. So it wasn't as if he was unfamiliar with the situation. He did get the ground ball to the right side that looked like it was going to end the game. But that weird play at first tied the ball game, allowed the tying run to score. First pitch to Ronaldo Ponce, upstairs, ball 1. Ponce 1 for 4 with an RBI single an inning ago. Right-hander to right-hander, the 1-0. Upstairs, 2-0. Just to recap that tying play, runner on third, 2 outs, a chopper to the right side. Phil Hawk tried to get there and couldn't. Shea McFeely got to the ball behind him. Petrusik covered the bag. The throw was low. Petrusik caught the throw as the 2-0 pitch is low and away, 3-0. And then Petrusik fell down behind the bag, and the first base umpire, Sheldon Wheeler, ruled that Petrusik did not touch the bag. That brought a vehement argument from Marty Scott, but to no avail as the tying run scored from third. The 3-0 pitch, taken inside, ball 4. 2-out walk in the 10th, and the winning run is on first. Ponce, 4 steals in 5 tries. Incidentally, when McGill gunned down David Washington in the 9th inning, that was only the 4th time in 15 tries Washington had been caught. Sean has had a few throwing errors lately, but it seems like on straight steals, he's been gunning down a lot of base runners. The batter is Jorge Alvarez, and the team's best hitter stepping to the plate, so that 2-out walk is kind of scary. Alvarez is 0 for 4. Right-hander to right-hander, big curveball, dropped it in there, strike 1. The 0-1 pitch hit high in the air, foul to the right. That's over the Lincoln bullpen and out of play. And the count goes to 0-2. There was a lady down there just kind of watching her young child play. The child was not anywhere near where the ball landed, I don't think, but the lady was. Hit the concrete about 5 feet away from her. She had no idea it was coming, and you just saw her duck and cringe. Folks, you come to a ball game, you have to watch the action at all times. You never know when a foul ball or something else might make its way into the seats. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Alvarez down on 3 pitches, and Petrusik pitches around a 2-out walk in the 10th. 1 man left. We go to the 11th inning, tied at 6 on 12:40 a.m. KFOR. It looks like 35, although I don't have a clear view, and it is 35, and that's Mike Cervera. Mike Cervera began the season on the Salt Dogs inactive list. Cervera, 6'2", 215 pounds, lives here in El Paso. 1-0 with a 4.35 ERA and 4 saves in 17 games. League hitting .282 against him. 10 walks, 21 strikeouts, 2 wild pitches. Shea McFeely will bat against him to lead off the top of the 11th inning. And the first pitch is on the outside corner, strike 1. Wind up in the 0-1. Little looper into right center field. That will get down for a base hit. McFeely has his second hit. He's 2 for 5. And he kind of sticks it to the fan making fun of his name down below me. The defensive changes that El Paso enacted in the 10th inning that I never got to, they moved their right fielder, Jeff Vincent, into play first base. And that put the pinch runner, David Washington, who had run for Verostegui. Washington is now playing right field. And the only other player that El Paso has on their bench is backup infielder Mike Provencher. Brandon Jones, the batter, he's 2 for 4 with 2 singles and a run scored. This is a bunting situation. Runner on first, nobody out in the top of the 11th. Salt Dogs now have 15 hits. Camacho in at third. The kick and the pitch. Bunted back towards the mound. Cervera catches the hop to throw to second. Not in time. Everybody's safe. Cervera waited on that high hop turn. Thought he had to play at second, but McFeely beat the wrap. Jones safe at first. First and second, nobody out. That's a fielder's choice. And it should be a sacrifice as well for Jones because he did move the runner over. And now runners at first and second, nobody out. The El Paso manager, Butch Henry, coming out to the mound. Josh Burris, the batter. Now, Burris, a guy with 10 home runs and 37 driven in. Not normally someone you would think of to lay down a sac bunt, but that's exactly what Lincoln wants right here. First and second, nobody out. A chance to bunt 2 runners into scoring position, one of them at third with only 1 out, and you could retake the lead on a sac fly. Ron Teague, the home plate umpire, trying to break up the conversation, but the middle infielders weren't in there. Now the shortstop Ponce comes in. Corner infielders are in there. And Butch Henry is obviously talking about how they want to defend a bunt by Burris. Now, if Josh does lay one down, he must lay it down at the third baseman Camacho. You want this ball to go far enough down the third baseline that Camacho has to come in and field it, and then that normally would leave third uncovered. Now, one way teams will counter that is to run what they call the wheel play, is that on the pitch, the third baseman will charge, the shortstop will race over to third to cover third, the second baseman will cover first, and the first baseman will charge. And that way, if the bunt is hard enough, even at the third baseman could turn around and throw to the shortstop at third base to get the force. But if you do that, you leave your middle infield wide open in case the bunt is hard enough, even at the third baseman could turn around and throw to the shortstop at third base to get the force. But if you do that, you leave your middle infield wide open in case the batter is not bunting. McFeely at second, Jones at first. And they wheel towards second. Cervera fakes the throw, does not let it go. We mentioned Cervera began the year on our inactive list. We'd acquired him. He bounced around. His rights had bounced around to a couple teams in the offseason. We eventually acquired him in a trade with Sussex. But he didn't want to leave his family in El Paso, and he chose not to play. Now, he started working out in June, and El Paso wanted him back. He pitched here last year. As this pitch is low and away, Burris showed no sign of a bunt, ball 1. But he was working out. He wanted to pitch again. El Paso wanted him back. We had his rights, and so we were able to trade the rights to Cervera for Chris Thompson, who's done nothing but been lights out as a closer for us ever since. Burris lines this pitch into right field towards the line. That's down for a hit. McFeely around third. He's going to score. Wheeling for third is Jones. Throw comes into second. Burris slides. The ball gets away. Jones is coming home. Burris racing for third. He'll be safe there. 2-run score. 8-6. Josh Burris an RBI double, and then he'll come to third, and the second run will score on the error. Salt Dogs lead 8-6. So the Dogs choose not to bunt. They let their big hitter Burris swing away, and it pays off. A 2-run, or an RBI double, I should say, down the right field line. And then when the throw to second got away, another run scored. So Burris gets the double. He'll get the RBI. Driving in McFeely. And then Jones scores, and Burris to third on the throwing error by David Washington. Now the infield in at all 4 positions. Nobody out, a runner on third, and here's Machado, who's 1 for 5 with an RBI single. The pitch in the dirt, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Cervera's pitch. Downstairs, 2-0. This inning started when Shea McFeely singled to right. Brandon Jones laid down a sac bunt. Cervera probably should have thrown to first. He threw to second, not in time to get McFeely, so we had 2 on and nobody out. And then the Burris double in the throwing error scored 2 runs. Fly ball to right center field. Coming in and making the catch is Washington. Burris will tag. The throw comes in. It's way up the line, and Burris scores. It's 9-6. David Washington out in shallow right field trying to make a hurried throw. He made a running catch and then uncorked a throw that was about 10 feet up the third baseline. Burris was past the catcher, Rodriguez, before he could catch the ball and sweep a tag around. So Machado was sack fly. His second RBI of the game, 26th of the season. 1 out, nobody on. 3 runs have scored. And the batter, Phil Hawk. Phil is 2 for 4. The pitch. Big swing and a miss, strike 1. We did see Cervera twice when the Diablos played up in Lincoln. He gave up an unearned run in 2 2/3 innings. He'll be charged with at least 2 earned runs here. As the 0-1 pitch in the dirt, back to the backstop. 1-1. Now, that's not a wild pitch, but here's where this is interesting. In terms of official scoring, without that throwing error, the Dogs would have had second and third and nobody out. And then the sac fly by Machado, I don't know if it would have moved a runner to third or not. But the run that scored would have been Jones and not Burris. So we'd have a runner on base if not for the error. And that wild pitch would move the runner up a base at least. So if Phil Hawk gets a hit here, all the runs in the inning are earned. He drives it deep to right field. Over is Washington. Washington will make the catch for the second out. But now I'm really wondering, and this is just the baseball geek in me, folks, I'm wondering about the official scoring. Let's assume for a moment the error doesn't happen. We have second and third, nobody out, and 1 run in. The Machado sacrifice fly, let's say it scores Jones and Burris stays at second. With Hawk at bat, that pitch that went to the backstop would have been a wild pitch to put the runner at third, and then that Hawk fly ball would have scored Burris anyway. So, in my mind, all the runs in this inning are earned. I don't know if the official score will see it the same way. Steve Alexander, the batter, takes a pitch outside, 1-0. But that's how you determine whether a run is earned or unearned. You have to determine if the run would have scored anyway without the error. That's the job an official scorer has in those situations. Chopper up the middle, over to get it is the shortstop Ponce. His throw to first is in time. The side is retired, but the Salt Dogs score 3 runs in the 11th inning on 2 hits. There was a big error, and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 11th inning, 3 outs away from victory again. It's 9-6 on 1240 AM KFOO. Against him. He's allowed 1 home run. He's hit 4 batters, 29 walks, 36 strikeouts, 4 wild pitches. 10 of his saves came here in El Paso. Then we traded for him in the middle of our trip, our first trip to the south to Fort Worth and Pensacola. He has 14 saves in a Lincoln uniform in 15 tries. Now, he really wriggled off a hook in his last outing. That was yesterday in game 1 of the doubleheader. Gave up back-to-back doubles that allowed Shreveport-Bossier to get within 3-2. And the captains had runners on first and third with 1 out, but Thompson induced a 1-6-3 double play to end the game. His first pitch to Juan Camacho is fouled back, 0-1. Matt Petrusic in line for the win. It would be his first of the year for the Salt Dogs. And I think Camacho broke his bat on that swing. He's going to get a new piece of lumber. Petrusic will get a blown save. Now, I don't think the league officially keeps blown saves. I don't ever see it on the stat sheets, but that's what Petrusic would be charged for. Really not his fault. That controversial play at first that would have either tied the game or ended the inning, and the umpire ruled that Petrusic didn't touch the bag and the game was tied. But after that hit, Petrusic, well, he got out of the inning when Sean McGill gunned down a runner trying to steal, but in the 10th inning, he struck out 2, only allowed a walk. So an inning and a third for Petrusic, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and 18 pitches, and he is in line for the win. 0-1. Camacho, switch hitter, batting left-handed. The pitch from Thompson. Inside corner slider 0-2. Good pitch. Thompson, 2 saves against his former mates when they came up to Lincoln in late June. Now the 0-2. Lined on a hop, deflected off his body into shallow right. McFeely up with it. Thompson really didn't get over to the bag in time. I don't think it would have mattered, and Camacho is safe. Let's see how they rule this one. That's going to be a base hit for Camacho. Hawk kind of having a tough night over there at first. Not an error on him that time. And a leadoff hit for El Paso. Phil will probably tell you should have caught that ball, but by the same token, this infield is lumpy. That's a good word for it. It's not very smooth. The infield grass is tough. The dirt is tough. There's a reason El Paso came into this series with 102 errors on the year. Jeff Vincent, the batter, he looked like he might be showing a bunt, but then the pitch went low and away, ball 1. I don't know what good a bunt does El Paso here. They're down 3 runs. Bottom of the 11th inning. Salt Dogs still out hitting El Paso 16-8. Thompson, the kick, and the 1-0. Swing and a miss, strike 1. See one of the ball boys doing a full-out sprint from the third base dugout to the first base dugout. Not sure why, but he ran right behind home plate. Ron Teague, the umpire, could have given him a high five on the way by. Now the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Thompson, if he picks up the save here, it would be his 15th as a Salt Dog. The team record in the season is 22. Chris Wider did that in both 2001 and 2002. Closest we've come since then was Matt Varner saving 20 games in 07. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Very weak swing by Jeff Vincent. He was overmatched there. And there's 1 away. So if Thompson locks this one down, he'll be 7 saves shy of the team record. This is our 23rd game of the second half, so we have 25 more games left in the regular season after tonight. And the way Thompson has racked up saves for this ball club, you'd have to think 7 or 8 saves in 25 games is possible. So we could see some Salt Dogs history if we continue our winning ways and Thompson continues getting opportunities. First things first, though, he needs to lock down this one. 1 out, 1 on, and the batter, Eddie Rodriguez, he had what I thought was a critical at-bat in that 5-run ninth. He had a blooper to center that Machado on the dead run tried to make a basket catch of and just couldn't hang on to. First pitch to him here is on the outside corner at the knees, strike 1. That scored a run. It made it 6-3. The next batter, Hector Bernal, hit a 2-run triple that made it 6-5 and Chase Gardner. And then the controversial play on the grounder to the right side that tied the game. But to me, if the Salt Dogs can run down that blooper, then we never get to the triple. That pitch to Bernal outside, 1-1. Or excuse me, to Rodriguez. And that's why I say, even though Gardner, he was losing in the 9th inning, his stuff wasn't there anymore. But I still say he was unfortunate as this pitch is swung on and missed 1-2. Because if that ball is popped up a little higher and a little shallower, it's an easy pop-up catch. And if it's hit a little harder, it's an easy catch for Burris. But it was just right in the middle, and it was just so typical of some of the ways that Gardner has lost games this year. Bloopers and bleeders have killed him. The 1-2 pitch fouled off to the right out of play, still 1-2. Spencer Schubert back in the studio. No, Spencer, that word I just uttered, I think it was blooters. I'm not going to add that to my repertoire. Doesn't sound very good. Bloopers I'll hang on to. But it was a blooper that made it 6-3 by Rodriguez, and 2 batters later the game was tied in the 9th. But the Salt Dogs have retaken the lead 9-6 here in the 11th. A 1-2 pitch. Called, strike 3 in the outside corner. Rodriguez not happy with the call. Back-to-back strikeouts for Thompson. And Lincoln again 1 out away from victory and a 3-run lead. Have to hand it to the Salt Dogs showing resiliency tonight. The way El Paso rallied, 5 runs in the 9th inning to tie it. We were in control of this game, and then it slipped away from us. And it was eerily similar, not in terms of size, but certainly in terms of impact, to that 10-run inning Shreveport-Bossier had in the 5th last night in Game 2 of the doubleheader. We had a 4-2 lead, and all of a sudden we were down 12-4. Now, this was different. It was a 5-run rally, not a 10-run rally, and it tied the game, and it didn't win it for El Paso. But another big inning hurt us. First pitch to Hector Bernal, way outside. McGill managed to keep it in the webbing of the glove, ball 1. Bernal, 1 for 3, a 2-run triple and a sac fly. He's driven in 3 tonight. But another big inning, stunning Lincoln in the 9th tonight. However, we came back with 3 in the 11th. And we're 1 out away from the win. Righty to lefty, the 1-0. Outside 2-0. If the name Hector Bernal is familiar, you've been watching the video on the Salt Dogs website that's still up there of Gardner's no-hitter. And it was Hector Bernal who hit that little flare to start the 9th inning back on June 25th that Albanus Machado made the diving catch on to preserve the no-no. The 2-0. Swing and a miss, 2-1. The one thing about Thompson is that he does throw, or seem to throw, a lot of pitches to get through an inning. He's already up to 15 in this inning. Now, he can go back-to-back days, but if he's throwing that many pitches, that 3rd and 4th day gets real questionable. The 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Didn't miss by much. Now, Chris has told me that if he goes 3 days in a row, he has to sit out a day. And this is his 2nd day in a row after having pitched in Game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday. 3 balls and a strike, 1 on, 2 out. The tying run on deck. The pitch. Fouled back to the left. Count is full, 3-2. Salt Dogs a strike away from victory. Traveling time for the runner Camacho down at first. He'll be running on the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs, and Phil Hawk will no longer hold him on. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Camacho gets a big lead. There he goes, and the payoff pitch. Called, strike 3 in the inside corner, and the Salt Dogs win. Chris Thompson strikes out the side in the 11th inning, and after giving up a big lead in the 9th, the Dogs rally to win in the 11th. The final score, 9-6. Lincoln has now won 3 of its first 4 on this 6-game road trip to the South. We are 14-9 on the second half of the season, and we've opened up a 1-game lead over St. Paul in the North Division of the American Association. When we continue, it'll be time for Extra Innings, the Salt Dogs post-game show on 1240 AM KFOR. And time now for the Rotella's game wrap-up. The next time you're grilling hamburgers or hot dogs, make sure to wrap them up with a quality bun from Rotella's Bakery. You can find them at your favorite grocery store. Rotella's is the official bakery provider of Haymarket Park and the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Across the line tonight for the Dogs, 9 runs, 16 hits, 1 error, 7 men left on base. The winning pitcher, Matt Petrusik, he's 1-0. Chris Thompson earns his 25th save. For El Paso, 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 4 men left on base. The losing pitcher, Mike Cervera, he is 1-1. There were no home runs hit in the game. Do not have an exact time of game. We started at 7:12 and ended around 10:25 or so just over 3 hours. It was a very fast-paced game until that 9th inning. Don't have an exact attendance number for you either. Hopefully we'll get a box score delivered to us before the end of the broadcast. Salt Dogs win at 9-6. No home runs tonight for either team. Lincoln now 14-9. El Paso drops to 11-13. And the official game time was 3 hours and 12 minutes. When we continue on Extra Innings, we'll send it back to the KFOR studios where Spencer Schubert has the rock and roll highlights. They're up and down, folks. It's a roller coaster, but we ended on a high note. Spencer will also have a final check for the Brian LGH scoreboard. That comes your way next on 1240 AM KFOR.